I've already appealed. I'm going to fight for my job back. I took an oath of office to fight for this administration. And although I don't agree what's happening or what's going on, please, I don't want to hear the negative stuff. I don't want to hear it. We're going through it right now. All us government, all us federal employees are going through it. So the negative stuff, it doesn't help. This sucks.
This is the perfect kind of example of a Trump supporter that I will not support and I will not meet halfway. Because this is someone who wants to skip the step of accountability. She voted for this man. She lost her job because she voted for this man. Yet she says she still supports this administration and wants to get her job back. She wants all of us to feel sorry for her that she lost her job. For all of us that said that this was going to happen, that warned her, to feel bad for her and skip the step of saying, hey, you did this. You're the cause of it. Now you have to deal with the consequences. No, she wants us all just to skip that part and just feel bad for her. She has not learned anything. She has not learned how her vote has caused her to lose her job, and she would rather have us feel bad for her than have us say to her, this is what you did, take some accountability, take some responsibility. She only speaks about how she's appealing for her job. Screw all the thousands of people that also lost their job right along with her, whether they voted for him or didn't vote for them. How is she fighting back for those people? This is the type of person that I say, you effed around and now you're finding out. And you deserve it. You deserve exactly what's happening to you. I don't know. What do you guys think? All my love.
Let's talk about that budget bill passed by the Republicans in the House of Representatives. You know what's not in that bill? Remember that promise from Donald Trump that there'd be no taxes on tips? Yeah, that's not in the bill. I know you've been hearing from idiots here on TikTok that that's in the bill, but it's not. You know what else is not in the bill? No taxes on Social Security, also not in the bill. No taxes on overtime, not in the bill. You know what else is not in the bill? Doge dividend checks. You know how you've been telling yourselves here that you're going to get $8,000 or $5,000 back from Donald Trump and Elon Musk from all the savings that Elon Musk is finding with all of his cuts? Yeah, that's not in the bill. And despite what you might believe, MAGA, because you're not very smart, Donald Trump has no authority to issue dividend checks. First of all, there isn't anywhere near that kind of savings from Elon Musk's cuts anyway. But even if there were, the president has no authority to issue such checks. That would have to come from Congress. And guess what? Not in the bill. So it ain't happening. You know what is in the bill? Massive tax cuts for billionaires, which are going to explode the debt. So while you guys are celebrating all these cost savings from Elon Musk and Doge, the truth of the matter is, pardon me, all those massive tax breaks for billionaires is going to explode the deficit because we're going to be bringing in a lot less money to the federal government. In fact, this bill in 1 year alone adds an additional $320 billion to our annual deficit, which is already about $2 trillion a year. So yeah, your orange God king, not fiscally responsible, blowing up the debt. You know what else is in the bill? Massive cuts to programs that benefit the poorest Americans. So we're giving massive tax breaks to billionaires and people who desperately need government services like Medicaid and food stamps. Yeah, we're cutting that. Good job, MAGA.
Hey, y'all. Former MAGA here, and I just want to send out a message to all those still trapped inside. It's okay to leave. It's okay to admit you were wrong. The only reason you're still inside is because you just want him to be right. You supported him and you voted for him and you wanted him to be right. And the thing is that he lied to us all nonstop to get our votes. He's not following through with any of his campaign promises. He didn't say anything about Elon dismantling the whole government. He never said that. He said he was going to bring prices down. He said he was going to give us great insurance, clean drinking water. He's not doing any of that. All he's doing is stealing as much money as him and his billionaire friends possibly can from the United States and all of us. That's all he cares about is money for himself. He doesn't care about us. He doesn't care about anyone in this country. He wants to take away your health insurance, your kids' health insurance, your kids' education. He wants to take away the safety of the United States. He appointed a bunch of morons to all his cabinet positions. Nobody who's going to help a single one of us. Just let go. No one's going to blame you. We're happy if you leave. You'll be happier if you leave too.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am FIKAZO. Let me take this time and thank each and everyone who is supporting this channel. You who comment, who subscribed, who like, who share the video. I always appreciate your support. Alright, welcome to another FAFO episode. We are in the FAFO era. When you F around, it's time of finding out. The growing sentiment of MAGA regrets among some of DT's supporters highlights the real-world consequences of, some of executive orders, from farmers facing financial losses due to hard-trade foods aid purchase to teachers worried about job cuts. From proposed education budget cuts, the impact is widespread. Additionally, DT's immigration policies have created fear and uncertainty within the immigrant community, while his efforts to dismantle DI programs have sparked concerns about, potential rollback of progress made in diversity and inclusion.
I want to talk about how we should approach people expressing interest in leaving MAGA, expressing regret in voting for Trump, as informed by the profound sadness and loneliness of being isolated from people that I love by MAGA. Don't get me wrong, I struggle with an extraordinary amount of anger. I see voting for Trump as a betrayal of me, my personhood, any claim to love me, of my safety, because it is, because of the demographics that I fall into, and my hopes and dreams of raising a child in this society who, because of my genetics, will probably be disabled and need certain supports that the Republicans are trying to take away, yada, 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 yada. I've been angry. I want to scream. I've gone through the phases of just wanting my family to know the bad things that this administration is doing and what they voted for. And I've sent those texts and said, this is what these people are doing. This is what your vote did. You hurt me. You continuing to support this hurts me, practically and emotionally. But the thing is, that doesn't get through to people, nor do just appeals to logic, because people are so deep into indoctrination that it's really, really, really difficult to have any kind of conversation about these things. Directly confronting it is no good. And then there's the other problem that even just trying to have moments of connection on neutral topics gets harder and harder and harder, because the combination of Trump getting his dirty little fingers on different parts of society make different things trigger topics that will be perceived as political even if they're not meant to be. And if you are known as the person who's been brainwashed into being a liberal, and people will just assume you're trying to be political when you're just expressing your objective experiences with reality. Thank God I live in a blue state, and most people around me have a fairly similar understanding of the world and are a reality check and keep me from going completely insane. But having grown up in the reddest area of my state, pretty much, in an area that is culturally part of Northern Appalachia, my family, with which I've always had a very intertwined dynamic. I've always been very close with them. We are being torn apart by MAGA. And this gets at the point that I want to arrive at, which is I feel this way. I sometimes wake up wishing that I didn't know the things that I do, that I hadn't deconstructed my beliefs, because while on one hand I feel extraordinary shame for ever having thought that Trump was anything less than evil, and guilt and pressure to like fight to make the world better, and like profound relief that I feel like I'm a better person now. Like I actually feel comfortable and confident in saying like I think that my morality aligns with like the greatest possible good for a flawed human being right now. It's so hard being isolated from my family and my community that there are moments where I wish that I never changed, because it would be easier to just agree with them and to be blind to everything and to not be stressed about current events and to not feel isolated and not have these conflicts. And when people are coming to the realization now that I came to back in like 2017, that Trump is not a good man and Republicanism is damaging to the country, and that these deep red regions raise people in a very brainwashed way that like needs to be deconstructed. When people are coming to that realization now, they're feeling the turmoil and anguish and isolation and just like disintegration of the fabric of their social like reality that I'm feeling, without the time and wisdom and confidence and other connections to people built up over a period of many years who share, you know, their newly developing moral alignment. And so as angry as I know I have been, and like I've been tempted to say like there's no forgiveness for people who didn't listen, and like FAFO, I don't think we can afford to trap people in the level of isolation that I'm experiencing with my family without the outstretched hand and mental salvation, emotional salvation of new points of connection. And people, I think it's a lot to ask of people to risk being ostracized by their community without offering any kind of grace. And again, I know that's really hard. Like I am struggling with that. I struggle to forgive, but I'm starting to realize that like I think it's really necessary.
What I can say right now, some people who voted against their own rights are now feeling the impact of the policies on their lives. Yeah. For example, I've seen an elderly woman who realized her vote might affect drug price cap, and a DT voter who relies on Medicaid is now worried about losing coverage. These stories highlight the growing disconnect with the MAGA base. On the other hand, there are still many supporters who appreciate what the guy is doing. They're appreciating the guy's actions. They admire his American first. Yes. So approach and view his recent diplomatic standoff with Colombia as sign of strong leadership and as a defense of American sovereignty. Supporters also point to policies like immigration reforms and economic measures as the reason for their continued support. Those might be the reason why some, are still having hopes that the guy will change everything. Yes, they will change the economy. He cannot change in the morning. It's just one day, 1 week, 1 month, so it takes process. So there are some who still have hopes that the guy will do something, while some also regret their choices due to impact of, the policies. Others still stand by him, as I said, citing his strong leadership and policies decision. The current situation is a reflection of the numerous challenges people are facing daily. We've seen job losses, rising costs, tariffs, deportation, increased bills have fundamentally changed the way, we live and navigate our lives.
maybe I'm just a bad person for this, but I keep seeing all these videos about the Republican voters who are regretting their votes. And I'm finding myself to have the same amount of sympathy as when the COVID variant was running through the second year of the pandemic and our hospitals were just full of anti-vaxxers, and that's what was dying in front of us. These people had all the information in front of them to know exactly how badly this was going to harm them. All the information was there, and we kept saying, hey, do everything you can to not let this be the case. And now that these people are being impacted by it, they're starting to feel the repercussions of their refusal to learn about the information and the threats that are in front of them. They're like, oh no, like, I'm being harmed by this. It's all I see is, I didn't want to be hurt by this. I wanted this to hurt other people, not me. And so now I'm really regretting what I voted for. I just feel the same amount of sympathy for them as the people who were refusing the vaccine after they were readily available. If you needed it, you could get it. And our hospitals were completely jam-packed full of unvaccinated people. That second year, especially the Delta variant, when that was rushing through, I remember I was on a contract in South Dakota, super Republican area, and that's all we had. I remember we had one patient who, she was vaccinated, she had cancer, she was on chemo, so she really didn't have a immune system. She got the vaccine, it didn't work for her, and when she died, it was really heartbreaking because she did everything she could to try to not be in that situation. But, you know, the rest of the unit just full of people who were just like, no, it's not real, it's all fake, as we're literally putting the tube down their throats. So yeah, maybe I'm a bad person for not having that sympathy for these people now as they come to realize that the Trump policies are going to cause them tremendous amounts of harm, but that's just the way I feel. You could have learned. And I also just don't trust these people in 4 years to vote a different way. You're gonna do the same thing you did this year.
There are some MAGAs who are saying we are not regretting. And I think you've seen those videos. On the other side, we've seen some who are regretting, okay? But there are some also who are regretting in their hearts, internally. They cannot express their emotion. We've seen trends where people are, we've seen trends where there are MAGAs who have never showed, or who have never showed their friends or families who they voted for. You know, they just kept quiet, okay? So now, it's a finding out season. I think people right now, they are scared to express, like, to say that we did wrong, okay? Even if you're proud for what you did, it's okay. It's okay to be proud, no problem. Just be proud of what you did. That's better, you know? It's better to defend you. It's not, you know, like coming out and say, I regret my vote. Okay, some people are going to laugh at you, you know? But there are also some other people who are saying, we are not going to put out ourselves. We're just going to keep quiet. But in deep, they are finding out. Because you cannot tell me from the moment you voted that the price of eggs are going to go down till this moment. Remember the price of eggs before the election. Now it has gone up. There's no single day which the price of eggs come down. So, and that was one of the main reasons for the MAGAs to vote. Okay, they said we are voting for him because we want the eggs to go down. But right now, eggs are not down. And another thing is the tariffs. Right now, as we speak, Canada is also going to put tariffs on the US goods. Now, who is going to suffer? Americans are going to suffer. Because if Canada puts tariffs on the American goods, some people are going to lose jobs, okay? Things are going to get expensive, okay? Because those companies are going to reduce because they cannot trade with Canada or Mexico, you know? And another thing, food is going to get expensive. If we are getting food from Mexico, we have most of the foods, more fruits and whatever, you know, you're getting from Mexico, and you've put tariffs on Mexico, it means those food are going to come expensive. And I don't believe those countries are going to sit down and just close their arms like this. No way. They're going to react. So it's going to affect Americans. But what I love here is this. DT have told you. He have showed you everything. He has showed you the plan that he's going to put tariffs first. He's going to, actually he said he's going to put down the prices of eggs, okay? But right now, he's no longer talking about that. He's no longer care about that. I believe he just wanted your vote and you gave him a platform and he's just doing his politics. Yeah, he's just doing his politics because I don't know, but goods are just, I don't know, but groceries going to go up. Yeah, they'll not go down. Okay, and right now, you know, people with different rights, they are saying, you know, he have taken our rights, he have taken this and that. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But by the end of it, but what I can say, you know, he's going to be here for 4 years. It's a finding out season, guys. All right, thank you so much for watching this episode till the end. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate your support. Please don't go without liking this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Please share this video, and let's catch up in the next episode.